Hello friends. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another video in the history of British literature where I'm looking at main points of each age. I'm Sarah Mahmood and today we will discuss the Anglo-Norman, or Middle English period. If you like the video please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. This period is of roughly 400 years from around 1100 CE to around 1500. And is difficult to identify because it is a time of transition between two eras, Old English and Modern English. The term Middle English literature refers to the literature written in the form of the English language known as Middle English. This period is called as the Middle English period as belonging to the Middle Ages or medieval times in the history of Britain, or the Anglo-Norman period. We will also discuss the reason why is it known as Anglo-Norman period. Now this entire period of 500 years is divided in three parts. First is age before Chaucer, second is age of Chaucer, and last is age after Chaucer or Chaucer's successors. Now to begin with the history we first need to understand that there was a man called William, the Conqueror, who was Duke of Normandy. He defeated the King of England, King Harold. William the Conqueror defeated King Harold in Battle of Hastings in 1066 AD. And now when the King of England was defeated finally and William the Conqueror started what we know today as Anglo-Norman. Angle was from Anglo-Saxons and Normandy was the name of the place of William, so Anglo-Norman become the name of this period. Before 1066 we had Anglo-Saxons and after 1066 we had Anglo-Normans. As Normandy was in France, so, we can say that French people started to rule England. And Anglo-French became the official language of England. All the aristocratic people were speaking French and all the middle or lower class people were speaking Old English. So what happened was that Middle English language was formed including words from Old English and French. A lot of French words were added to dictionary. For example, mansion. No one knew what a mansion is. Even if you go to see root or origin of any word you will find that most of English words are either from Latin or French. Latin because Roman had a very important influence and Christianity was spread all across England during Old English period. So Latin words were added to the dictionary, and then when French becomes the ruling class, so French words were also added. This was a period when schools and colleges were set up all across England. How? So there was a war that went between eastern part of the world and European countries. That war was known as Crusade. Crusades were basically religious wars. We all know that the authority of Christianity was in the hand of Pope. So the Pope asked all the Christian people have to go and convert Eastern countries to Christianity. Now when these people went there they started reading their text. So a lot of Greek and Roman texts were taken by these European people and these texts were read by people of England. The Crusaders returned with that text and people started reading them. So earlier what used to happen was that the only clergymen were the people who were educating other people. Now that people had the access to other texts they started learning it by themselves. So education moved outside the church and that is how schools and universities started building up. Now there were two major institutions that were set up. Cambridge and Oxford. These two main colleges were set up during this period. Oxford was set up in 1096 and Cambridge in 1209. Now we know that because of Crusades a lot of universities and colleges were starting up, so London became the hub of education. Layamon's Brut, also known as the Chronicle of Britain, is a Middle English poem compiled and recast by the English priest Layamon. Layamon's Brut is 16,096 lines long and narrates the history of Britain. It was the first noteworthy product of this revival of the English language. The Ormulum is a 12th century work of biblical exegesis, written by an Augustinian canon named Ormond, consisting of just under 19,000 lines of early Middle English verse. The fine imaginative piece of the period is The Owl and the Nightingale, which is in the form of a dialogue between two birds. It is a 12th or 13th century Middle English poem detailing a debate between an owl and a nightingale as overheard by the poem's narrator. It is the earliest example in Middle English of a literary form known as debate poetry. The Mabinogion. This collection of 11 tales constitutes the first substantial prose work written in Britain. It was composed in the 12th and 13th centuries by unknown Welsh monks, who wrote down earlier oral tales about love, war, and heroism. Geoffrey of Monmouth, medieval English chronicler and Bishop of St. Asaph 1152, whose major work, the Historia Regum Britanniae History of the Kings of Britain, brought the figure of Arthur into European literature. If you have any question regarding this topic, please ask in the comment below. Thanks for watching.